Hi, everybody. Welcome if you are new here, and welcome back if you had been here for a while. Okay, I did a video yesterday, but we had a festival of sorts in town, and it was extremely noisy outside. I did as much cutting as I could to cut out the noise, but eventually just gave up and decided to re record today. But when I woke up this morning, I had changed my mind about what I wanted to say, so I scrapped the entire video. So without further ado, let's get down to business. Firstly, I'm asking you nicely to stay until the end of the video because the video will contain information spread throughout the video which you need to hear for the sake of what is to come in the next video. Now, firstly, I am saddened by Yankee Wally's channel being taken down. For me, having Yankee Wally on YouTube was like having a friend over for a visit. One day we'll talk about the royals, the next we talk about her teeth or the flight paths of planes. I do not care what anyone says, but Yankee Wally's channel was definitely not a single purpose hate account. I do, however, also recognize where things went wrong and when it went wrong. And even as a small channel and maybe someone who many do not always take seriously, I really wish for everyone else to take a lesson from this. If you are ever targeted or trolled by someone, take one of the following, if not all, of these steps. Block them off your channel, your Twitter page, and your email. Report them to your service provider, your platform, be it Twitter or YouTube or wherever. And if it becomes a little more hectic, report them to the authorities. If the person harassing you is in another country, you can even report them to their embassy in your country. Do not engage your troll in public or on social media. Anyway, moving on. There is little we can do about Yankee's channel. YouTube made it clear that only the account holder or creator can appeal, but we can still be here for Yankee as a human being. She became a friend, a voice in our homes, and we can still support her on other platforms or via email, etc. Okay, now with that said, I have a lot to get through today, so I'm going to redirect you to a video PDina put out with regards to Yankees channel, free speech, Meghan, etc. And I'll post a link in the description box. Even my daughter said that it is one of the most balanced and true videos on the subject of Yankee Wally, free speech, Meghan, etc. It also best describes my entire family's opinion on the subject, and therefore I thank her. Thank you, Pedina. Okay, okay. So now we stay on the subject, but also not. Why was Yankee Wally's channel targeted? Like I said, she was not a single purpose hate account. Far from it. She did not have the biggest channel talking about the Harkles. Far from it. Yankee mostly spoke about what she saw and read on other platforms. So why not act against the origin of her material? Yankee did not use hateful language against the Harkles. I actually heard much worse elsewhere, even language that even I backed up from and left me a little in shock. I never heard Yankee referring to the Harkles as scum or worse, for instance, but I heard that on a bigger channel. So why not act against that particular channel? I believe it is because Yankee is popular and because her followers are not sycophants, but because we could all identify with her as a normal human being, and she thus created a group of loyal followers. Yankee is also tenacious and almost fearless, or so she came across. So, in my opinion, she was not targeted necessarily for what she said, but for who she is. And then, of course, she was an easy target as she is not aligned with the rich and famous or even rich herself. But now we have a situation where, with Yankee's YouTube voice silenced and Samantha's Twitter voice silenced, and we have Meghan now resuming her podcast, in other words, making her, Meghan's, voice heard. We also know that her podcast will address the subject of women's empowerment regularly. So, how on earth does any of this make sense? It is okay to silence the voices of other women who do not agree with you, but you should be free to say what you want, even if what you say is downright and provable lies and the rest plagiarized. So that brings me to my next point. Who is really behind the silencing of the opposition? Is it really only Mr. B? Sorry, I cannot, may not, and will not say his name, okay? But is it really only Mr. B? No, it's not. Is Sunshine Sachs behind Mr. B, perhaps even paying him? Well, I may be wrong, but I sincerely doubt it. Is it Meghan and Meghan alone behind Mr. B, his friends, and his minions? Yes and no. I believe she has a finger in there somewhere, but I do not think she has the power or influence or even the money to pay her own PR staff, Sunshine Sacks, a handful of sugars, and Mr. B, and whoever else. No, my dears, there is something else going on here. There is either another group or person behind this. And even if he, she, or it is not doing this openly, say via monthly payment, wage, bonus, or retainer of some sort, he, she, it, they have a way of stirring these people into a frenzy, into hatred of people they do not know. Yes, whoever is doing this is indeed an expert in releasing the fox amongst the chickens. And again, because we don't know who this person or entity is, we should refrain from confronting them in public as you do not fight ghosts. No, you eliminate them in other ways. So, what other ways are there? Well, I sincerely wish I had the opportunity to ask Mr. Markle some questions, even if he did not reply to me personally, but answered them on his channel. You see, before any fight, you need to know and study your opponent. And I'm not saying I want to fight Meghan Markle. No, no, no. But I want to separate truth from fiction once and for all, so that I, or you, or we, you, my friends and subscribers included, can get rid of all the distracting BS nonsense, etc., and deal with what is real, true, and right or wrong. Obviously, there would be no merit in asking Mr. Markle about Meghan's life since she started dating Harry. But there are still many unanswered questions about who she was before she met Harry, or then before she joined Suits. So here are a few of the questions I would ask Mr. Markle if I could. Was Meghan born in 1979 or 1981? Although most of us, myself included, had moved on and don't really care about this and just accept that she was born in 81 and turned 40 last year, there are still discrepancies, and not only online or in the media, but also in posts and videos of family members. So if Mr. Markle could answer this one, so we can tick this one off and move on, it would be great. The next question, We know Meghan's first name is Rachel. So I would like Mr. Markle to tell me what they called her when she was small. Did they call her Rachel or Meghan? How was her name spelled on her original birth certificate? Was it spelled Megan, Meghan, or Megan, Megan? Did the superglue hazing incident really happen? Was Meghan married to Joe Giuliano and the marriage annulled? If so, why was it annulled? Was Meghan pregnant before she met Trevor, and did Mr. Markle pay for an abortion? Or was she pregnant and had a child adopted? Or are the most recent stories true, namely that she has a medical condition which renders her unable to have children at all? Now, here you guys can go listen to Lady C's video on the screen, and I'll leave a link in the description box below. Was Meghan ever in trouble with the law? And so on and so forth. Okay, I'm sure you guys have questions of your own, but what I really want to get at is that someone needs to come out and tell the truth. As in this instance, the truth cannot be any more damaging than the speculations and allegations. Mr. Markle is also in the perfect position to address these matters, as when or if he does, he will be recalling his own life as man, father, and husband. And as long as he tells the truth and sticks to the truth, he cannot be touched for telling the truth and sharing a part of his life and experiences. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave this here for now. I have something potentially rather big for you, but I prefer to put it in a separate video for you, as I do not want the issues to become confused or confusing. Besides, I need to take a breath. Okay, I'll be back in a couple of hours, latest tomorrow. So hang in there. This discussion is not over. So until we meet on the next video, please take good care of yourselves. Bye.